my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Hey there, welcome to the Daily O. I'm Tanner De Leon.
And I'm David Moore. It's Pride Week here on campus, and we're kicking it off strong with a screening of Love, Simon in the Student Union Theater, alongside an art collection from LGBT students. The show is free and starts at 7 tonight. Tomorrow, if you eat at Louis Grill and Bar, 10% of proceeds will be donated to the Relay for Life of Stillwater American Cancer Society. Next up, we have Tanner with the weather.
Today is warm and sunny with the high of 82 and some light wind. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy with the high of 86 and light wind. Wednesday looks pretty cloudy with the high of 87 and winds up to 25 miles per hour. Thursday, temperatures will drop to 59 degrees with high humidity at 31%. Friday is mostly sunny with the high of 61, but the weekend looks rainy with an 80% chance of rain on Saturday and a 40% chance on Sunday.
Really is a nice day, isn't it? Reminds me of a song by Childish Gambino. It feels like summer. But today is really a perfect day to get family or friends together to visit one of the 350 zoos in the U.S. That's because it's National Zoo Lovers Day. You would be joining the 175 million or so people who visit a United States zoo each year. And be sure to post about your zoo adventures on social media with the hashtag National Zoo Lovers Day.
The CDC is sounding the alarm on a life-threatening super fungus that they've called a global emerging threat. And it's on the rise across the U.S. David has more on the story.
Fungus called Candida auris is lurking in hospitals and nursing homes. And health officials are now warning about how fast it's spreading in healthcare facilities. There's been nearly 600 cases in 12 states across the U.S., with more than 300 of them in New York and more than 100 in New Jersey. Candida auris can enter through the bloodstream and spread rapidly, wreaking havoc throughout the body, causing serious invasive infections. The big problem? Infections are extremely hard to treat because it's resistant to most antifungal drugs, and symptoms are hard to detect because it's often infecting people who are already sick. It's also difficult to identify and can be only diagnosed by specialized laboratories using specific testing methods, which is making it difficult to control the spread. Scientists are still working to learn more about the yeast. They recommend washing your hands with soap and water or using hand sanitizers in healthcare facilities. And remind your healthcare providers do the same during your visits. I'm David Moore, reporting.
Another member of President Trump's cabinet exits after clashing with the president on policy. Kirstjen Nielsen resigned Sunday evening as Trump expresses his frustration over the situation at the southern border with Mexico. Nielsen said this.
This neighborhood's never seen so much excitement before. I don't have any new announcements. I just want to thank the president again for the tremendous opportunity to serve this country. I'm forever grateful and proud of the men and women of DHS who work so hard every day to execute their missions and to protect the homeland. I really look forward to continuing to support them from the outside. I've spent the last 24 hours since yesterday talking with government officials, with administration officials, members of Congress to ensure a smooth transition. As you know, DHS has a vast array of missions. I want to make sure that we continue to execute them all with excellence through the transition. I share the President's goal of securing the border. I will continue to support all efforts to address the humanitarian and security crisis on the border. And other than that, I'm on my way to keep doing what I can for the next few days. So thank you all for being here.
Sunday evening, President Trump announced via Twitter that Kevin McAleenan, currently U.S. Customs Border and Protection Commissioner, will take the role of acting Homeland Security Secretary. We'll be back with the New York Minute after this quick break.
I'm Jason Colicchio, and here's what's trending. Actress Felicity Huffman is pleading guilty and apologizing for her role in a massive college admissions cheating scam. In a statement on Monday, Huffman said she admits full guilt and is ashamed of the pain she has caused her family and the education community. Huffman is accused of paying $15,000 to a fake charity to facilitate cheating for her daughter on the SATs. She also discussed the scheme in a recorded phone call. Huffman says her daughter did not know about her actions. Her husband, actor William H. Macy, is not charged in the case. Good news for the Beehive, maybe. It looks like a Beyoncé documentary may be coming next week. Netflix tweeted a tease Sunday that simply said Homecoming with some Greek letters worked in, and the date, April 17th. The video streaming giant hasn't officially confirmed it is about Beyoncé, But fans were quick to point out that the singer has a fashion collection called Homecoming, and it includes Greek letters. Beyoncé also has a Homecoming Scholars Award program that benefits 4 historically black colleges and universities. Many are predicting the special will shine a light on her performances at last year's Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. A popular New York City breakfast spot got a rude awakening when an accident sent a huge city bus barreling
smash
through the
into
store.
a bagel shop
Watch
in
as a New
Queens.
York City
It
bus
happened
smashes
just as the
into a
store
bagel
opened
shop
for the
in
day
Queens.
on April
It happened
7th.
just as the
MTA
store had
officials
opened
say
for
the
the
bus
day on April
swerved
7th.
after it was hit by a car.
MTA officials say the bus
suffered only
swerved after
minor
it was hit by a
injuries.
car.
No customers were in the
The
store,
driver-
and the
the
employees
driver
were
suffered
safe
only
in the
minor
back.
injuries.
Local
No
residents say the
customers
shop is
were
a
in the
popular
store,
breakfast spot.
and the employees
Some
were
say
safe
had it
in
been
the
an
back.
hour later, the accident might
Local
have been
residents
much
say the
worse.
shop is a popular breakfast spot. Some say it had been an hour later, the accident might have been much worse. That's it for the New York Minute. Back to you guys.
Week, and electronic communication students Taylor Summer and Patrick Lineman talked to Abby Hetherington, an openly gay track star. Let's take a look.
A struggle is a long and difficult attempt to achieve something. Something that can only be accomplished with great effort or hard fight. Abby Hetherington knows this to be true. She's a student, athlete, teammate, Big 12 champion, All-American, and she's also gay.
But then I thought like they're probably gonna find out, and I wasn't really bothered by then. Like I was like, I am who I am, so.
Back home in England, nobody cared about the fact that Abby was gay.
I live in England in like quite a liberal place. Actually, a lot of my friends were like already gay, and like I already had like the gay cousin. Like as everyone says, everyone has a gay cousin. So yeah, I come up to my friends in the last, so it was my junior year of high school. It wasn't like a big deal to tell people, just like, I don't know, I felt like I only told a few people, and then like everyone else just like kind of knew, but like no one ever was like shocked or anything like that.
Coming out to her teammates at OSU, however, was a whole different story, as the small town of Stillwater is nothing like her home in England.
It did seem a lot different to back home. Just like culturally, it was like a bit more conservative, I guess. So it definitely like took me a while to tell people here, just because I didn't know how people would react.
After a long first year, Abby eventually decided to open up and confide in her teammate.
It was after my freshman year. I was home for summer, and I was just sitting in my kitchen one day, and I was just like, I'm just going to tell Molly. Like, I've just written this huge Facebook message out to Molly, and just like waiting for her all morning to like open the message, and then when she finally did, it was just like so much weight off my shoulders, and then it just gave me like the confidence to tell my other teammates at the time.
Revealing her secret has helped Abby find peace in her personal life and success in her running career.
Freshman year, like for cross country, we like kind of sucked. I think we came 5th at Big 12s, and that was not good for us, and we didn't qualify for nationals. And but like the year after, the fall after, when I told people, like we won Big 12s for the first time, and we came 7th at nationals. So it was like from the lowest to the like highest in one year.
Everyone struggles to find themselves, feel comfortable with who they are, and be confident in their own skin. Abby has shown us how she's overcome her own struggles and inspired us to do the same.
And we'll be right back after this break with sports.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
It's gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Cause baby, I feel real good and I wish I would. Watch out now. It's gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Everybody watch out. Watch out now. I'm ready for a good time and I came to groove. The whole band's here and we came to move. Got a fresh haircut and 2 new shoes. We're here all night like we got nothing to lose. I'm coming out the jacket cause we're turning up the heat. I wanna see you clapping when you get up out your seat. It's time to make it happen when we hit these streets. I'm coming in hot and I can't be beat. Watch out now. Baby, watch out now.
Welcome back to the Daily O. I'm Cameron Bloom. Let's get right into all the sports action. The Baylor Lady Bears are the new NCAA women's basketball champions as they defeated Notre Dame 82-81 last night. Baylor was all over the Irish in the first 3 quarters of play. Kalani Brown scored on the stroke of halftime to give the Lady Bears a 12-point lead going into the half. The lead was still at a comfortable 11 points for Baylor heading into the final quarter of the season. In the fourth quarter, Notre Dame came roaring back to close down the lead. Ogunbowale would not go down without a fight. Notre Dame's star guard finished with 31 points on the night, tied at 80 with 6 seconds left to play. Baylor's Chloe Jackson got through 2 Irish defenders to give her team a go-ahead basket. Jackson led the Lady Bears with 26 points. Then in the final seconds, Ogunbowale was fouled and would go to the line for a chance to send the game to overtime. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who always showed up in big moments, then shockingly missed her first free throw and sealed the championship going to Baylor. The Lady Bears celebrated their first NCAA title in 7 years. In the men's NCAA tournament, Virginia and Texas Tech will face off tonight to determine who will win their first ever championship. The NCAA semifinal matches happened on Saturday, where Virginia defeated Auburn and Texas Tech took down Michigan State. Virginia went down to the wire with Auburn in what perhaps is the most thrilling and controversial game of the tournament. Auburn went on a 14-0 run in the final 5 minutes to take the lead after trailing by 10. With 7 seconds left in the game, Kyle Guy knocked down a 3-pointer to bring Virginia within 1. Then, in arguably the most controversial moment of the tournament, Ty Jerome clearly gets away with a double dribble. On the replay, the ball bounces off his foot and clearly picks up the ball with 2 hands. But the referees missed the call. Then on to the next play. As time runs out, Guy is fouled while attempting a 3-point shot. The referees get this call correct, and Guy proceeds to make all 3 free throws and punches Virginia's ticket to the final. In the other semifinal, Texas Tech defeated Michigan State 61-51. Tech's defense once again proved to dominate the game. Matt Moonley led the Red Raiders in scoring as he racked up a total of 22 points on the night. Michigan State scored with 3 minutes to play to make the score 52-51. Texas Tech locked down on defense and would not allow any points in the final 3 minutes and ran away with the game. Lubbock nearly burned down in the celebration that followed. Cars were tipped and streets were flipped with students celebrating. The NCAA Final Four tips off tonight at 8. The West Virginia Mountaineers came down to Stillwater this weekend to take on our OSU baseball team in Allie P. Reynolds Stadium. The Cowboys had a rough start to the weekend and dropped the first game of the series 11-1 with only 1 run scored by Noah Sifrit. The Cowboys brushed off the previous game and came back to win 9-5 with the help of Colin Simpson and his 4 RBIs, including a grand slam in the 8th inning to take the lead. The Cowboys went in on Sunday with high hopes and lost 4-2. Colin Simpson had a nice home run and another 2 RBIs, but it was not enough to stop West Virginia. The Cowboys will be back in action as they travel to Wichita State on Wednesday. They will then be on to Lawrence, Kansas, as they will face the Kansas Jayhawks. Keeping with baseball, the bullpen discussed the benches clearing at the Pittsburgh Pirates and Cincinnati Reds game last night. Let's check it out.
We got some very important things to talk about, like a fight happening down with Pirates and the Reds. Derek Dietrich absolutely crushes a home run against Chris Archer, but he takes a little while to admire himself.
Yeah, he stood there.
I counted 11 seconds it took for him to get to first base. There it is right there. He absolutely destroys it, yeah, but
that I mean,
it sends it into the river behind in the Ohio River.
It's a little disrespectful. I mean, I can see where Pittsburgh's coming from. I can see why they're mad, and but that fight was Yasiel Puig, man. He went off.
Puig decided that he wanted to take on the entire 40-man roster by himself, and I respect him for that.
I do too. He stood up for his teammate. It's not like he got hit and he was like he stood up for his teammate, and
Archer threw a 94, 95 mile-an-hour fastball behind Dietrich's back.
Yeah.
The home plate umpire issued that warning right there, as you're seeing, and you can see David Bell, the Red skipper, like run out there almost immediately, yelling and doing all sorts of things. And you know, I wasn't a very big fan of the home plate umpire calling that warning, Barrett, to be honest with you, because you know it's the unspoken, unwritten rules of the game. If you throw behind a player, you're gonna get it back, and you're supposed to let the other team get a retaliation pitch. And with that warning, they would lose their starting pitcher. So obviously they can't do it this game, and they would lose any other pitcher afterwards. Obviously, Bell is just trying to get his 2 cents. And there's Puig, my new hero, taking on the entire Pirates 40-man roster.
I've always been a fan of Puig. I
Puig,
think
he's a very emotional guy.
He is.
He's very attached. You know, this is his first season in Cincinnati. He's already willing to throw out some punches for his players. I mean, Chris Archer is an interesting guy. I've been in his, you know, he's been in my division for a couple years now, and he's always got this quick trigger. He gets angry very, very quickly.
Yeah, he does. But I mean, I have no problem with what he did there. I mean, that was as disrespectful of a it's not really a bat flip, but like, I mean, he hit that thing to the moon, but he just stood there and just stared at it, and you can see Archer's reaction right when the ball is hit. You know, he's upset with himself.
Yeah.
Kind of walks to his right and then looks back, and the guy's still standing there, and then he realizes, like, what are you doing? Like, just start jogging the bases, like. So I can see where he's coming from, and I do kind of agree that the warning was a little premature. But the next time they play, and he's batting, first pitch,
he better watch out.
Archer's getting one straight in the hip.
Archer seems to forget, that he plays in the National League, and the Reds are also in his division, so they'll be playing another 9 or 12 more times.
Yeah.
So he better watch his back. The Reds are 1-8, absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
But that was a shining spot, you know, in their season with that Derek Dietrich blast.
I'm surprised. I mean, I told you, I thought they would be like kind of a 500 type team.
At least a little better.
I thought they would finish above. I mean, well, they still got a ways to go, but
yeah,
they've had an awful start. So
not a great start.
It'll be. We'll see. But I still think they can pull it back. They've got enough pieces.
They got another 100+ games.
Yeah, to have a decent season.
So we're.
Even though it is the offseason, the NFL is still in the headlines. Today, the spotlight is on former teammates Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. The Pittsburgh Steelers named Smith-Schuster the team MVP for last season. Brown took to Twitter to express his emotions about the recent motive, saying, Boy fumbled the whole postseason in the biggest game of the year. Everyone went blind, too busy making guys famous, not reality these days. By the way, check the list." End quote. Smith-Schuster responded with 4 tweets of his own, including, "Keep your emotions off the internet." End quote. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out in the upcoming season. That's all from sports today. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, David and Tanner are going to wrap up the show.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Just a reminder, there is a screening of Love, Simon in the Student Union Theater alongside an art collection from LGBT students. The show is free and starts at 7 tonight.
And tomorrow, if you eat at Louis Grill and Bar, 10% of proceeds will be donated to Relay for Life of Stillwater American Cancer Society.
OSU softball swept the Kansas Jayhawks over the weekend, including a homer from Sidney Pennington. That's all from the Daily O. I'm Tanner De Leon.
And I'm David Moore. Thanks for tuning in to the Daily O. We'll see you tomorrow at 5.